heroism. It's the pursuit of two ideals, excellence and a higher purpose. This noble mission is not just found in Hollywood. It's a game changer for businesses devoted to it. Almost all business owners launch their company to make a difference in the world around them. Join us on the Heroic Experience as we talk with business owners, senior leaders, and established entrepreneurs so that you too can elevate your business to heroic success. Now, here's your host, John D. Hanson.
Welcome back to the Heroic Experience. We are grateful to be sponsored by Kaufman Media. You know, digital signage, it's all around us. It's everywhere we go. Well, find out how they can help your company connect and communicate with both external and internal customers and clients, your team and potential customers. Check out their website, kaufmanmedia.com. That's spelled COFFMAN media.com. This is kind of a unique opportunity. I've had so many people asking me, like, my story, that now I get the opportunity to share it with you. So today's show is going to be walking through my story, wow client stories, my story of how I got here, and then some of the differentiators and things we have going on in the last segment. So I'm looking forward to diving right into what's so cool about the example that I have in mind that I want to share with you. It's blue collar, manufacturing, good client, ideal client that then becomes not a good fit. And I want to share some of those insights with you. So manufacturing, privately held company, small size company, under 50 employees, and everything that they were well established in the space, have been doing business many years. They were headquartered in an area that they had significant market presence. But then I noticed that their website was dated, a lot of dead links, stock photos, recycled content, pages kind of copied and pasted. And I just noticed there wasn't a lot of, fresh, original content that was truly them. Then I also noticed when I did an SEO dive and I took a look at what was their online presence. Like if you Googled them and their product lines, how do they show up? And what's interesting is in the major metro areas, they were in 3 major metro areas. And one of them, where they were headquartered, great presence. I would say 8 out of 10, 80% of their top products were coming up first page Google results, which is excellent. But then the other 2 metro areas, it was like they didn't even exist. 1 out of 10 at best, like they just weren't there at all. Now, in today's world, if you're not first page results, especially if somebody has a significant need, not just like, it's me, I'm just casually shopping, but like their hair's on fire and I need a solution now, they're not going to page 10 on Google. They're going maybe 1, 2, and what's there, what's highly rated. I need solutions now. So I thought that at first I expressed this to the leadership and they were on board. So with a very small investment, we did an upgrade on their website. Oh, it looked fantastic when we were done. They added a part-time marketer that could come in and focus on branding. Believe it or not, it was the wild, wild west. They had all different kinds of logos, all different colors, all different signatures. There wasn't continuity. Like when you go to the store and you get a box of Kraft macaroni and cheese, and they're not a sponsor, but I still remember this from when I was a kid. They always look the same no matter what store you go into. Well, that kind of branding, that consistency of your brand needs to show no matter how small or how big you are. So getting consistency across their brand was important. And just through a regular weekly, just once a week, posts on LinkedIn that then their entire team shared through their own accounts, monthly blog post writing that had geographical ties, that it had hashtags, that had keywords. Within less than a year, we had revived those 2 major metro area markets that they didn't even exist in. They were 8 out of 10 for both, and it was a 10 out of 10 for that home metro area. Accomplished that. It was very fulfilling, very rewarding. I enjoyed that, seeing that progress. And of course, this helped them be found that much more easily. I also pointed them to the fact that you've got an existing book of business. You've got all of these accounts, all of these clients. What about the ones that that have open, active accounts but haven't done anything in a while. Well, reach back out, especially if you've got new people on your sales team. Have them reach out and connect and find out maybe somebody left. Maybe the person, it was one of their accounts that was close to their home, maybe. Find out what changed. Why are they still have an open active account but haven't bought in a while? And just get to learn their world. And so with that kind of a focus, we're able to revive accounts that were stale. They were still active, so they could use the account. It just hadn't been used in a while. And then through education. Oftentimes, customers only know what they're using. They don't know what else you have, what other solutions and offerings you have. And so by going in and doing like lunch and learns or webinars or things that were educational only, no pitch, just explaining what they did and the benefits and the features and all that, and that enabled them working into their busy schedule. So it wasn't interrupting the flow of their work. They were able to gain more business that way. But here's the interesting part of the story. Unfortunately, there was a shift, and it took a little bit to figure out. But then working with this client, identified that there were toxic people that were in key positions within the organization, and nothing was being done about it. It was known that this was impacting both internal customers, team members, as well as external, and nothing was done. Mostly because that person was brought into the company by someone that had long-standing tenure with the company. And so despite repeated concerns being voiced of this is not good for your brand, this is not good for your employee experience, this is not good for your customer experience, and nothing was done about it until the point where it had gotten so bad that the writing was on the wall that they were going to be replacing that person, and that person left on their own. But that was a year or two down the road. That was far too long. It's that old analogy of one drop of poison in a glass of water, it pollutes the entire glass of water. And I was seeing the impact. Not only were they losing potential business with external clients, but internally, there were people that were leaving, young, talented, hungry to learn professionals that were willing to come in at an entry level and wanted to work their way up. There was no opportunity there. They left and went somewhere else. So they had churn internally, they had churn externally, and they kept running into issues, one issue after another, quality, by keeping multiple toxic people on their team. So here was the moral of the story. Just because your company has been in business for a long time, and just because it's doing well now, doesn't mean that will continue indefinitely. There has to be intentional improvements. The idea that it can always be better is not a threat. It's actually a blessing, and it's a competitive advantage over the companies that are, well, this is the way we've always done it. Think about that for your business. How could that impact your business if you asked, how can we do everything we do here better? And how can we make sure that we are engaged with the team members that are bought in, that believe in your company and in your solutions and in your services? And especially, how can you engage with the clients that know, like, and trust you, that are raving fans? Well, great questions. We're up against our first break. When we come back, you get to hear the journey of how I ended up in this chair talking to you. So I look forward to sharing that with you. So join me back after the break here on The Heroic Experience.
Inspire, influence, and connect your audience with digital signage. Kaufman Media offers customizable digital signage solutions designed to meet your company's specific goals. Whether you need digital menu boards for your quick service restaurant, digital displays for marketing in your retail stores, or wayfinding and unified communications for your schools, your corporations, or your healthcare facility, our customizable, affordable options and proven experience make us the only partner you'll need for your next digital signage project. Visit kaufmanmedia.com today to learn more. That's COFFMAN media.com.
Would you buy a car from a dealer without a test drive first? for your business, a consulting partner is even more important. Accelerated Revenue is excited to announce the Take Us for a Test Drive event. Receive 2 exclusive workshops on customer experience and winning culture, a customized culture snapshot, and a leadership strategy session worth over $10,000, all in for just $2,500. Best of all, when you onboard our consulting team, we'll credit you the entire $2,500. Spots are limited, so visit our website today at accrev.com/test drive.
Check out John's worldwide selling book, Wow Your Customers, 7 Ways to World-Class Service on Amazon. Now, once again, here's John.
Welcome back to the Heroic Experience. We're grateful to be sponsored by Kaufman Media, digital signage solutions, and far more. Check out their website, kaufmanmedia.com. That's spelled COFFMAN media.com. All right, this is where you get to hear my story, so buckle up because there are a lot of chapters in this book. So I'm going to go as fast as I can to see if I can't get it all here in this 9-minute segment. So back when I was a teenager, just graduated from high school, Christian camping is what got me into my first full-time job. And that there was a program in Western PA, not too far from Erie, that had a program specifically to help people, equip them in this space if they wanted to be in hospitality and retreat centers. And so that 1-year program completed, and that brought me out to Central Ohio. That was back in 93. Now, when I came out, Central Ohio was not what it is today. It has grown significantly. The little place called Marmot Valley Farm, right across from Mad River Ski Slope, up US 33, just about a half hour from Columbus. And at the time, it was a 2-lane road through cornfields past the Honda manufacturing plant that's there off of US 33. Well, it's grown significantly. By the time in 95, when I was headed down to northern Kentucky, they were just about to expand it to 4 lanes going all the way out to Indian Lake. So I had the opportunity of working with this family-owned retreat center that had been doing this for decades. A matter of fact, one of their biggest claims to fame was Wendy Thomas, Dave Thomas's daughter, went to their summer camp there back in the 60s, I believe. So I had an opportunity to work there, worked with the family that ran that, spent 2 years there. Then an opportunity opened up to work with 2 of my brothers down in northern Kentucky at another Christian ranch that was doing a startup in northern Kentucky. Went down there, helped develop that. While I was there, it turns out that the Southern Baptist Church that my brothers and I went to, they had an opening come up for a minister of music. Now, my mom was a music major, taught me how to play piano, taught all of us how to sing. I was the only one that stuck with piano, and I was decent at it. And so they saw, a deacon saw potential in me and said, I think you'd be a good fit. Why don't you do that? So at the ripe young age of, in my early 20s, I now had the opportunity to be the minister of music for a Southern Baptist church in Florence, Kentucky, of all places, and loved that. I was there for 5 years, had the opportunity to do choir leadership, playing piano, singing, music leadership, and then I was entrusted with more responsibility. For a smaller church, there's always more opportunities, and so I ended up becoming treasurer, then deacon, and eventually was ordained by that church and had my own congregation, or a rural Baptist church, just about an hour from northern Kentucky. And that was a big culture shock to go from northern Kentucky, which is basically southern Cincinnati, to an hour east, and now you're in rural Kentucky. But had an opportunity to be the senior pastor for a very small church there for a couple of years. And an opportunity opened back up at Marmot Valley Farm up in Central Ohio. Well, at that point now, I'm married. Been married to, it was in 03, March of 03 that we got married. So me and my wife, we went back up to Central Ohio for a summer opportunity. And that was all that it was for a summer opportunity, but it got reconnected with people, good friends, and then just stayed in the area. I liked the area, good friends there, good opportunities. And that's when I started to delve into the manufacturing world, warehousing and distribution, manufacturing. Spent a good deal of time there, but got to a point where I just couldn't get promoted any further. I'd have to wait for people to retire or die. And so my opportunity to move upward was stopped. So was my pay. So I made a shift there and went into waste management. I made good money there, got in great shape. But that only lasted for about a year. And they cut down And so I had looked at the National Guard as a way for paying for college, as well as honoring my grandfather who served in the Army as a staff sergeant back in World War II. And I thought I'd looked at it. Let me look at it again. And so in 2008 is when we decided I'm going to do this. So at 32 years old, I go into the Army National Guard, went to Fort Benning, Georgia for my basic training in the summer with a bunch of 17-year-olds. Gosh, I learned patience. I also got in fantastic shape and had an opportunity to move up quickly. So in the time with the Ohio Army National Guard, I got into a leadership position where was promoted 4 times within 6 years and included a deployment to Iraq. Well, when I returned from Iraq, I did not have a job. I left with a full-time armory job. I came back knowing I wouldn't have one upon return from deployment. It took me a few months to find something. When I did, is with Chase, large, huge facility, bigger than the Pentagon here in Columbus, as a loan processor. Now, this was back in 2012, back when refinance rates were in the 3s, which at that time were historically low. And that was the department that I worked for, the refinance department, and we were swamped. Well, I was determined to hit the ground running, and I did. I made sure that in the 2-week training, I was constantly learning the systems and connecting with my team and talking with my manager so that when I hit the floor, I could make a difference because I could see they were overwhelmed. Well, that didn't stop. The volume continued to increase where an average processor was supposed to touch about 60 loans at a time. We were up close to 100 files at a time that we were working, along with having people quitting, transferring to other departments that weren't so busy, getting fired. You never wanted to see the box coming down the aisle. That meant that somebody was getting fired. Well, that job got eliminated when things slowed down. I ended up taking a position at a contact center to keep the benefits we needed. And it was almost half the pay of what I was making before. But it was in that environment that I proved that I had what it took to be excellent at customer experience. I was top of my team, so much so in 90 days I was training new hires. Well, that underemployment couldn't last. And then I took something, an over-the-road trucking opportunity with TMC, flatbed company that liked working with veterans, beautiful equipment, well-run company. Had a good experience there, but over-the-road's tough for a family. So I came back to a local driving job that paid less but had me home every night. But that couldn't last long either. Ended up going to a job fair in Dayton, and that's where I encountered industrial automation for the first time, and I loved what I saw. It paired manufacturing with adding in technology that just was so fascinating about how to improve quality and productivity, robotics, machine vision, and I loved that. So I got an opportunity to be an account manager at that firm, worked there for 4 years, and eventually figured out that wasn't what I wanted to do. I was working on a side hustle, wrote my own book, and published it in 2018 on customer experience. So I started my own consulting firm January 2020. Looked like everything was going to be in the black. And then COVID hit. And the speaking gigs and the clients I had lined up, gone overnight. And we put our savings into that. So that's where I had to pivot. And that's where I am now with accelerated revenue. So that is the story of what got me from where I was as a teenager to where I am now. I imagine if you look at other people's lives and the ones I've had a privilege of interviewing on this show, you'll find that life isn't a straight line. Where you think you're going to go as a teenager or as an adult even is often not where you end up. But oftentimes it's the journey that makes life interesting, the twists and the turns, not so much the straight line. And that's what I'm grateful for. The relationships that I've built over the years and the experiences that I have been so rich and so rewarding, and they continue to reward, especially with the relationships. I have been connected with so many awesome people around the world now because of the book, because of speaking engagements, because of consulting, because of networking. It has been a blast. Well, I'm only 46, so I've got a lot of exciting things ahead of me. I'm looking forward to the next chapter. And that's what brings us to our next break. So when we return, I'm going to share with you some of the exciting things we've got going on, as well as some special events. So stay tuned after the break and join us back here on The Heroic Experience.
Did you know that 70% of U.S. residents 12 and older recall seeing digital signage in the past week? Digital signage provides a 35% reduction in perceived wait time with a 30% increase in a customer's in-store browsing time. Kaufman Media offers customizable digital signage solutions designed to meet your company's specific goals. Christina said,
We love our digital signage. The software is easy to use and we can publish content in minutes. It allows for every department to be seen and have a voice.
Visit KaufmanMedia.com today to learn more. That's COFFMAN media.com.
Attention event planners. Is your company or association planning a conference, seminar, or staff retreat? Are you looking for fresh ideas on high-demand topics like customer experience, leadership, empathy, customer service, earning and keeping trust, and more? Then you need to book John D. Hanson as your next speaker. Brooke said,
Great presentation. John's concepts help shift my thinking. A good fit for my life right now.
read more testimonials, discover John's full list of speaking topics, check out pricing and more on our website, accrev.com/keynote.
Would you like to be a guest on the Heroic Experience? Contact us at john.hanson@accrev.com. Now, once again, here's John.
Welcome back to the Heroic Experience, where we are so proud to be sponsored by Kaufman Media. Digital signage. Find out what it is and some things you may not know about it at their website, kaufmanmedia.com. That's spelled COFFMAN media.com. Well, this is where we get an opportunity to share with you how we're different. I think the biggest thing I would start with is we focus on small to mid-sized companies. I found just last year, I was putting together a presentation for a business development group, and I learned, according to the SBA, that 99.6% of businesses in Ohio are small, 100 employees or less. That was a shocking number to me. I thought it was in the 80s. No, it's 99.6%. Well, that seems a little high. That couldn't be. Not that I'm doubting SBA's numbers. So I wanted to look at every state in the country and find out what is the average. Well, I was at the time talking with some companies in New England, and I looked at their numbers, and Maine was one of the states I was talking to. Their numbers were 99.2% of businesses were small. It turns out the national average is about 95% of businesses in every state in the country are small, 100 employees or less. That just blew my mind that's the size, the scale of the opportunity out there for us to help businesses of that size. But I thought, so how do I narrow this down? Like that's our target, small to mid-sized privately held companies. But how do I know who we can ideally work with? And that's where I realized it's blue collar. To put it simply, when I looked at the verticals that I had relationships and experience with and saw would be a good fit, it was blue collar. And why? The reason why was because blue collar companies, they need people. They need relationships. They can't outsource it. They as much as they can sometimes in manufacturing, you still have to have people showing up every day to make the product. In some of the service industries like HVAC and skilled trades, you have to have people. You can't bring in robots. You can't use AI. Those are little small tools that might be able to help your business. But to do the work, you've got to have people. You've got to have butts in the seat. Trucking, transportation, warehousing, even new car dealerships. Car dealerships that is a segment that we're looking to serve. They need people. And while there's a lot of things that can help with online and tools and systems, you've got to have people at the end of the day. And that's where our focus is. Another way that we differentiate is that we have 4 guarantees. And this is based especially on the fact that we have combined fractional expertise. It's not just us. We have official partners that bring in decades of experience that come alongside and bring in fractional expertise based on whatever a company needs, based on what their needs are, what their goals are, what their budget is. We can tailor that to fit their needs. But we guarantee, because of that expertise, we guarantee that we will minimize cost, we'll maximize cash flow, and we will magnetize, after we've got things dialed in, we will magnetize your customer and employee experience so that you can attract and keep the ideal clients, the ideal team members. But there's a 4th guarantee that we provide that's, I think, quite unique in the space. And with just 2 small conditions, we guarantee that if we work with your company for a minimum of 6 months in a row, that at the end of 12 months, we will have fully recovered your investment into us. Full ROI in 12 months. We'll put it in writing, provided there's 2 conditions, and just 2. One is, you've got to work with us for 6 months in a row. The other one is, if we provide a win-win solution, recommendation, and win-win meaning that it not only saves or makes your company money, but it also improves whatever that slice of overhead is that you'd implement it. If those two conditions are met, then we guarantee that ROI in full and we'll put it in writing. That's how confident we are in our official partners and in our expertise. That's how we differentiate. So the good question that we get is like, so who's an ideal fit then within that blue collar space? Well, an ideal fit would be a company that's like, there would be three possibilities. Number one is a company that's doing well. You've got things in place. You're doing well. But you also know, because you're a leader in your industry, that you and your people are being targeted. Other companies want your people. Other companies want your customers. So we can help you prevent loss through all the tools we have to offer, especially the engagement piece. We can help you engage your clients and your team members in a way that will not only keep them around, help them to stick around, but will help grow your business even more. That's the one type. A second type of client that'd be an ideal fit would be ones that you've grown fast because of the market, because of the opportunity. You're growing so fast, and you know that you're in danger of losing clients, losing business, potential new business, or team members because you are growing so fast. Well, we can help you with that. We can help by saving cost, which is a concern for any size company, with maximizing cash flow so that you can invest into the growth of your business, and especially with that culture piece, the customer and employee experience piece. Man, if you're wanting to differentiate in the market so you can attract and keep team members and clients who are a good fit for you, we can help you with that. But then there's a third type of business that's an ideal client, and this one is what's closest to my heart. And that's the company that you're working as hard as you know how. You're putting in more and more hours, and you're just not seeing the needle move. Whether it be revenue, whether it be growth, whether it be new team members, new clients, however you measure that, you're just not seeing the return on that extra effort. So you're working harder and harder, and you're starting to work 6, sometimes 7 days a week, and you're missing important dates and times with your loved ones, and you know this isn't good for your health. Well, we've got ways that we can help you with that. Because let's face it, if what you had was working, then it'd be working. So the Dr. Phil thing of, so how's that working for you? If you feel like, gosh, there's got to be something that this could be better. What am I missing? Well, we can bring in fresh eyes and help you with that. Which leads me to, I think, what's just a fantastic offer. And we call it the test drive. Every 86%, so I wouldn't say every, 86% of team members, according to a Gallup poll, want training and development. But they want it especially when it helps them both personally and professionally. Not just the tech stuff that helps them do their job better, but the things that help them perform better at life and at work and at home. Well, we have all kinds of ways we can help you with that. But the best one is a workshop on site. We'll do a half day, split it up over a couple days. We call it the test drive. Invest in that. Let us help develop your team, get to know one another, see if we could be a good fit. And if you decide that we do consulting, then we subtract the cost of that off of our consulting solution for you. And that way it's no risk, and you get a chance to learn about us and who we are and what we do. So what's the best way to contact? I'd say the best way is to start with LinkedIn. I've got all kinds of content there. John D. Hanson. Find out who I am, what's important to me, what my values are. That's a great place to start. And then contact me in any way you like. Email, phone call, LinkedIn message, Facebook. It doesn't matter how you do it. Just reach out, because I would love to help your business. You know, heroism, Hollywood makes it seem like it's only for those special people. Well, I believe it can be experienced in business, because heroism is two fundamental concepts: pursuit of excellence and a higher purpose. And if you can plug your people and your clients into that, your business can be heroic. Not what you do, but how you do it. And that's why I'm so excited about this opportunity. I want to help elevate your business to heroic success. And I'm convinced we can do that. I just need the opportunity to talk with you. So reach out to me. Let's have a no obligation conversation, and let's see how I can help your business get to the next level, because you deserve that. And so do your people, so do your clients. Well, I thank you for joining me for another session of the Heroic Experience. This is a blast. I hope you will recommend this show to people you know so they'll add it to their podcast list. And join me back for the next Heroic Experience.
This has been the Heroic Experience. To learn how your business can be profitable and heroic, visit ACCREV.com. For access to free weekly content, subscribe to the Accelerated Revenue YouTube channel and follow John D. Hanson on LinkedIn. To listen to archived shows, find them on the Accelerated Revenue website under the Resources tab, ACCREV.com.